What's up, everybody? It's your guy Retr0lag, and we are back. It's been a long time with a reaction video.
Another one.
This time, we are taking a look at the Indie Live Expo Winter Sale going on right now on Steam. Okay, so the Indie Live Expo, this is an information-filled program for the hottest indie game news. It is broadcast in 3 languages, Japanese, Chinese, English, and has been viewed by over 28 million people with more than 650 games introduced. A live stream where every indie gamer will be satisfied. So again, this has been going on since November 6th, and it ends on the 12th. So at the time of this recording, there's about 2 days left. But I, being that the Retr0lag Variety Network likes to show Metroidvanias, platformers, point and clicks, I figured why not show y'all some of the stuff that I found that I think you might enjoy as well. So to give you a quick lowdown though, let's take a quick look. So they do, like they said, they do have a live stream that is going on right now. You can take a look at it. There are the 3 different streams going on based off of whatever language you're looking for. Okay, and then as you scroll down, they got the featured new releases. Coffee Talk is definitely a big one up there. You also have Unpacking, which just came out, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen quite a few reviews of that. Then they got games that were introduced in the event. Some of them are still coming soon. Some of them have some prices already, and there's also, on top of that, it is a sale, so there are some great deals. For example, in Kodia, a point and click that I am definitely interested in is 50% off. It's only $12 right now, and we'll talk about a little bit of the games in a minute. But as we keep going down the list, we have, so you got some games that were announced, games introduced in the event as well, and every time you click on the sale page, whenever you go to it, a new game will a screen will populate to kind of showcase. But I guess they did it in different waves. So Indie Waves 1, there was quite a few titles, okay, and you can keep clicking show more until you get to the end of it. But there was essentially, if I'm not mistaken, 7 or 8. Yeah, there's 8 waves, and then there's a whole slew of games that are actually on sale right now that have been out for quite some time. And when you click show more, I mean, this thing is so extensive. It just keeps going and 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 going. Anyways, so like I said, I broke it down into 4 categories: story rich / point and clicks, side scrollers, platformers, top down strategy survival, and Metroidvanias. Okay, now some of these games are already out and some are coming soon. So I went ahead and added them to my wish list, and we're gonna take a look at some of the point and clicks. And one of the point and clicks that I found was the Season of the Warlock. Now, there is no official release date for this game yet. The developer and publisher is Incomplot, all right? The Season of the Warlock is a weird adventure game inspired by the Gothic tale tradition with 2 storylines to choose from. The soul of a warlock of yore, trapped in a portrait, will present Lord Alistair Ainsworth with an offer he will not be able to resist. I'll make him an offer he can't refuse. Or will he? It's your call. So this just really looks interesting to me. I mean, there's tons of point and click games that I've added to my library that I haven't dived into, but I'm always looking for fresh titles just so I don't forget them and I dive into them, and this is definitely one of them. The great thing is that this one also has a demo to check out, and just by the gameplay, I kind of like the setting that this is told in. So a Gothic tale, there's 2 sides that you can pick from. I think that's really cool, So the Season of the Warlock coming out eventually. The release date, they say, is when the Warlock wakes from slumber. All right. So as we go back into our wish list, another game that is actually already out now is Grotto. All right, so Grotto is developed by Brainwash Gang and published by Digerati. Like I said, this game is out now It's not on sale, but it's only $12.99. You are the soothsayer, the one capable of talking with the stars and unveiling their messages. In a time of turmoil, the tribe of the valley turn to your powers of divination and come to you for guidance. Now, I've seen this, and you know what really sold me on this game? It actually wasn't even the trailer. It was the thumbnail. The thumbnail just looks cool. I mean, and the type that they used, it looks cool, you know. I've seen a few people already do some reviews on this game. So like I said, it did come out at the end of October, so not too long ago. It's still very, very new, and it's got nothing but positive results or reviews on Steam. And again, it's only $12.99. So, you know, check this game out. I am definitely, like I said, it's on my wish list. If I could, I would pretty much buy every game I could today, but I can't because, you know, wifey will kill me, and it costs a lot of money. Well, a lot of money to buy all these games. All right, so moving right along. The next game that we're gonna take a look at is one that there isn't too much information about, but it does look good. It is coming soon on December 30th, and this one is Thy Creature. Thy Creature is a story game where a creature goes on an adventure to a distorted tower. Now, that's really all they say. The developer is Mazm, and the publisher is Growing Seeds Corporation. It has that very similar art style, like, what is it? We die together, we strive together, or something like that. Or we starve together, whatever. It looks kind of similar to that. Again, it's an adventure visual novel, bullet hell shoot 'em up. So I guess it really isn't a point and click, but it is a visual novel. So aside from the action, you know, you also have a story. So I think that's what really drew me to this one. Again, the release date is December 30th. Unfortunately, there is no demo for it, but it is a cool one. So if this is something that looks like it might be up your alley, take a look at it. All right. Now, there are more point and click. Some of the other standout titles were, like I said, Encodia. Encodia is on sale. Black Book, Rendezvous, and BROK. Now, we're going to take a look at that one. BROK The InvestiGATOR is developed and published by Cowcat, and BROK is a traditional adventure game mixed with beat 'em up and RPG elements in a character-driven storyline. Now, on my list of games, there are tons that we could go through, but bottom line is you need to just take a look. Okay, the next area I want to cover is some of the platformers that I found. Some of the standout titles are Bat Boy, Super Cat Boy, Aztec: The Forgotten Gods. I saw that announced, if I'm not mistaken, at Gamescom. That looks amazing. Can't wait for that. Scaredom. Galaxy Tales: Story of Rapunzel, that's already out right now in early access, $14.99. We're not going to talk about Rouge Rising yet because that's a Metroidvania, but Zapling Bygone, that's a Metroidvania as well. Another one we can take a look at is Pale Knight. So Pale Knight is a precision platformer. I just like it. These kind of games are up my alley because I like simple, okay? You know, sometimes I don't like very complex games, you know, I don't need a lot of cool graphics sometimes, okay? I'm a gamer, so, you know, this changes from day to day. Developer and publisher is Pretty French Games, and essentially you help Pal overcome the curse forcing him to hide from light. Explore the world of Vector and join an epic adventure through a beautiful world of shapes and colors in this tight platformer. There is a demo available. They only say that the release date is early 2022, so, you know, check that one out. Another one to take a look at, Mago, that comes out very soon. Control Overide is another one that very simple in design, but such a cool game. I mean, it is only $2.54. You know, you gotta check. These kind of games are just cool to look at and cool to play. It just looks cool, you know, it looks really cool, really fun. And I mean, let's look at this for real. $2.54, you can't beat that. you cannot beat that. That's a great deal, okay? So, just a lot of fun games on this entire list in general. I would say go check them out. Now, I did mention a couple platformers or Metroidvanias, and I did mention some top downs. All right, so another game that I want to show you guys before we switch to a different genre is this one right here, Ninja Issen or Ninja Issen. It is developed by Asteroid J and published by CFK Company Ltd or Limited. With its cyberpunk city brought to life with retro graphics, Ninja Issen invites players into a world filled with hyper ninja action as they work alone to annihilate waves of enemy troops using a variety of ninja skills and fight bosses coming at you with relentless, diverse attack patterns. This is an action, cyberpunk, pixel graphics game that looks sick. I mean, you can rack up combos. It looks, it's hyper, which means you probably could speed run this, the better you get at it, and just rack up those points and rack up that gameplay. It looks really fun, looks really dope. It doesn't have a release date, but it does have a demo. So download the demo. I already got the demo on my computer. Really looking forward to playing that one in the coming days. Stay tuned to the Bleep Bloop podcast for my demo days episode where I will be talking about Ninja Issen. There's a lot of platformers to take a look at. They Always Run, another game that just came out. Demo is available for that one. A Tale of Paper. Let's take a look at that one real quick. A Tale of Paper is one that I think y'all will enjoy. A Tale of Paper is a puzzle platformer that tells the story of Line, a magical character made of paper who can use origami to change its shape, transform into a frog, a rocket, a bird, and more as Line embarks on an emotional journey to fulfill the dream of its creator. Now, I mean, anytime games just tell a story from a different perspective other than a human or a robot or an animal, it's always cool. And then when you combine like the miniature aesthetic, trying to overcome obstacles in a much larger world that in itself is like another galaxy or planet almost, it makes it that much more interesting. It makes it that much more exciting to experience. I mean, it has some 3D platformer elements to it. Looks like it has a really good storyline. And again, there is no release date for this, but there is a demo available. So do yourself a favor. You have today, tomorrow, and the 12th to go to Steam and check this out. And if you can't find the banner for the sale, all you got to do is just find one of the games. Just type in platformers, demos, platformers as the tag, and I guarantee some of these pop up, and when they do, the banner will be right there on their sale page. For example, when you look at A Tale of Paper right here, Indie Live Expo Winter Sale 2021. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just wanted to bring this to you guys because my reaction when I saw this, anytime I see an indie sale, I'm always interested because there's always new games coming out. All right, so we covered a little bit of stuff that's already out. We've covered some stuff that's coming out. Now let's move over to the top-down section. There's only a couple that I really want to point out. A top-down game that I wanted to show you guys was Esse Proxy or Esse Proxy, developed and published by From South Games, and it reads like this: a slick, stylish, and brutal top-down twin-stick shooter. Kill or die, learn and repeat before you unveil the secrets of Esse Proxy in this action-packed story on a dystopian cyberpunk city. Fight bosses, ride vehicles, select your arsenal, and choose between different characters with unique abilities. I mean, this game for me just looks dope. I love that top-down aesthetic for games. I love that game design. I love that game element. I love when you add that dystopian cyberpunk aspect to it. And I love when you can have different characters. There is a demo available for this game right now. Again, there is no release date. Add it to your wish list. part of the Indie Live Expo Winter Sale. We're gonna check out one more title, and that title is Serial Cleaners. It is developed and published by Draw Distance, and it reads as Serial Cleaners is a single-player stealth action crime game in which you alternate between playing 4 eccentric mob cleaners taking on the bloodiest jobs the carefree 1990s had to offer. If you remember the 1990s differently, their dirty work is the reason why. So when I looked at this game, it almost reminded me of Disco Elysium, but it plays different because it's an action stealth game, but it still has that kind of top-down perspective, and it gives you a different viewpoint on society, while this one is relative to a time frame that, you know, we actually lived, and Disco Elysium was a different type of time frame, if you will, in a different world. It still seems like it's the same type of feel and vibe. There is unfortunately no demo, but add it to your wish list. Serial Cleaners, that's a game you got to pay attention to if you love indie games and if you love just these types of games with these types of design elements. Okay, so we've covered point and clicks, we've covered top downs, we've covered platformers. Now let's take a look at some Metroidvanias. Now, there's only a few on this list. The few that are there are some that I think y'all may enjoy if you love Metroidvanias. The first one is Rouge Rising, or Rouge Rising, depending on how you want to say it. Developed and published by Stir, Rouge Rising, or Rouge Rising, is a 2D roguelike action. Exhilarating action with easy controls. Grab the relics and use your skills to conquer the tower as many times as you can. Even the toughest bosses will be easy depending on your luck. Now, this is in early access. However, there is only a demo available. It says it's an early access, which means most likely when it releases, it's going to release in early access. Moving right along, we got another one that we're going to take a look at, which is a little bit different. And this one is Zapling Bygone. So Zapling Bygone is developed and published by Nine Finger Games, and it reads like this. Murder bosses, collect and equip their skulls to absorb their consciousness. A pixel-perfect platformer focused on exploration and responsive platforming. Uncover the history of an alien planet by discovering and collecting digital comic strip panels that represent the memories of your skulls. So I really love the pixel animation to this. I love the depth. I love the color palette as well. It doesn't seem too complex. It'll be interesting as it plays, but when you add in that digital comic strip panels element of it, and then you see the animation to that, that looks like the designers really put some emphasis into how they wanted this game to feel and look. So I think that's really cool. Zapling Bygone, there is a demo available. No release date as of yet, but again, part of the indie game sale. And I will say this, one thing that I have seen about the indie game sales, anytime they're going on, the demos are available. But what typically happens is shortly after that, a week or two after, the demos close. So if you're gonna check any of these games out, you need to do yourself a favor and do it quick. We got one more game on this list, all right, that I wanna show y'all. And that is Reina Jericho. Reina Jericho is developed and published by Reclamation Games. The synopsis is, you create a perfect chain of cause and effect in Reina Jericho, an intense story-driven adventure through a fortress defended by Reina's worst enemies. Confront Reina's past, present, and future as she battles her foes and bends time itself. Now, the reason I wanted to show this is because I discovered this game actually quite a few months ago. And for a lot of the indie expos, indie fests, Steam Fest, this has always been one of those games that's right up there. So, or that is always being showcased and is always having a demo available. So I would say that you really need to, if you love Metroidvanias, you love platformers, you just love indies in general, maybe you like all types of genres, you need to add this to your list and you need to download the demo because it is apparently available right now. and it looks fun. It looks amazing. I think it is an enjoyable game. Probably has a very good story, and that's why it keeps getting showcased. You know, do yourself a favor, check out some new games. I mean, if you're a gamer and you love all types of games, you should not neglect or deprive yourself of some of these gems that sometimes have more weight than AAA titles. And I say that very strongly. Prime example, Hades, Disco Elysium. I mean, the list can go on and on. There's tons of indie games that have set the bar, which some AAA titles actually mirror in the sense of storytelling, design aspects, leveling, colors, sound design. These are all things that indie developers and publishers have time to focus on, and don't worry about what the perception is going to be, because they're fitting into a niche market. So that's why as I said earlier, and I'll say again, whenever I see an indie expo, an indie sale, an indie fest, whatever it is on Steam, I pay attention to it, because there are gems in there that maybe weren't revealed on the last one. And that's another game that I'm always looking for, that one that just instantly hooks me in. And I found more times than not, there are more indie games that I have a tendency of going back and playing on my own time as opposed to streaming, because they're that much more enjoyable as opposed to AAA titles. It doesn't mean I don't love AAA titles. So that about wraps it up for the Indie Live Expo Showcase. Again, it started on the 6th of November and it ends on the 12th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So really, you only have until the night of the 11th, which is tomorrow at the time of this recording. But you can go to their website. They do have a link. And I'm pretty sure that you'll see something like this again. I mean, we're already gearing up for another Steam Fest coming up in February. And there's already the Thunderful event going on that just kicked off yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it kicks off on the 12th. I can't specifically remember, but I know they already got some promotional stuff available. So that's specifically for them. Akupara just got done with their 5-year anniversary. So there's always stuff you can find on Steam. Enough of me talking. If you enjoyed this, make sure you hit the like and subscribe on the channel. Stay tuned for more. And in addition to that, if you love podcasts, and more specifically, you love gaming podcasts, then I want you to go to any podcast platform and type in Bleep Bloop Podcast. BLEEP BLOOP Podcast. And it'll be from Retr0lag's Variety Network. All right. We cover gaming news, we cover demos, we spotlight games, next exclusives, so next games that are coming out, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But we got 4 episodes already up available, so go check that out, all right? And until the next time, catch you on the next video. Peace!